The massive, red, venomous snake was looking right at me. I held my breath. I didn't move an inch. I was petrified. I remember thinking, why did I risk my life for this cup of tea? I thought my life was about to come to a very sudden and painful end. The snake was flicking his tongue at me. He rattled his tail. That's when he jumped. When I woke up, I was surrounded by an African tribe. They were playing strange music like I had never heard before. A few of them were taking care of me. Finally, the tribe's shaman gave me the cup of tea that would change my life forever. Hi, I'm Liz Swan Miller. I'm a naturopath and a best-selling Amazon author that has helped over 14,793 women and men reclaim their health, fitness, and happiness with advice they needed to improve their physical well-being. As a professional weight loss expert, I was ashamed and frustrated by the weight I'd gained after a difficult and complicated pregnancy. No matter which of my time-tested techniques I tried, I just couldn't get rid of the pounds and pounds of stubborn excess fat. It was like I was a stranger in my own body, trapped in a shell I didn't even recognize anymore. The worst part was that I couldn't seem to do anything to get my life back to normal. I was disappointed, ashamed, and more alone than I'd ever been. I felt absolutely helpless. That all changed when I took a plane to Africa and discovered the delicious tea that made me burn body fat quickly and easily, without feeling hungry. Now, you need to watch this video until the very end because I'm actually going to give you this revolutionary ancient recipe today. This recipe led to my life-changing fat loss. I shed 14 pounds in a matter of weeks. I then went on to cleanse away an incredible 27 more pounds. That's 41 pounds all gone because of one cup of tea. It was all thanks to a bizarre legend my South African college exchange student told me about when I was younger. A tale that told about a delicious red tea discovered in the remote African wilderness and the Kenyan tribe who drank it to stop all the feelings of hunger. The legend said an African shaman possessed an ancient recipe for a delicious red tea so powerful that whoever drank it felt unlimited energy, with no thirst and no hunger. It sounded crazy, and yet I was absolutely dying to find out the truth. Could drinking this red tea really make someone never feel hungry? You can't buy this tea blend in the store because it's still mostly a secret. In fact, I'm literally the first person in America who's ever brought it back from Africa. And if I hadn't gotten out of that jungle alive, you wouldn't be hearing about it today. But don't worry, because you can actually find all the ingredients you need at any grocery store. You might even have them in your house right now. And the tea works like magic. You feel full, satisfied, and energized almost instantly, and your body will actually activate its natural ability to burn fat, a built-in superpower you might not have used in years. Additionally, absolutely anyone can use it, no matter your age, gender, or health. While you should always check with a physician you trust before making any life changes, this detox is proven safe, effective, and simple. You can drink this tea to detox your body and shed 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds or more, just like I did. The difference in my body in just 14 days was truly astonishing. I can't even begin to describe the feeling of complete and utter relief as those first few pounds disappeared. When they kept coming off, I knew I'd found something special. In a matter of mere weeks, I dropped 41 pounds. That's right, 41. After years of struggling, I'd finally found the solution I was looking for. No more diet failures, no more guilt or remorse. With each pound I lost, I was one step closer to being happier, one step closer to being my old self. I was back in my skinny jeans again. You can actually see me smiling, more slender than I've been in years, right in this picture from last Sunday at a family barbecue. Without the fat-burning power of this mysterious tea, I can't imagine where I'd be today. It saved my sanity, it saved my health, and best of all, it saved my failing marriage. This is truly a life changer. You see, my last pregnancy took a toll on me. After multiple complications, I was put on extended bed rest. I spent 80% of my day stuck in bed, and I was forced to give up the active lifestyle I loved so much. Can you imagine being trapped in one room for weeks at a time? Being held back from pursuing your hobbies, your passions, and truly engaging with life? That was my world. I became sluggish. I felt exhausted all the time. Eventually, I developed a sweet tooth, and I absolutely lost control of my weight. I felt like a fraud. Here I was helping people all over the country lose weight and get the bodies they wanted, while I was lying in bed looking worse than I ever have. Honestly, I felt disgusted with myself. And even though my husband was very supportive by telling me he didn't care what I looked like, I knew deep down he just wasn't physically attracted to me anymore. I just wasn't the same person he fell in love with. Finally, I knew it was time for a change, and I decided to face the music. I reluctantly stepped onto the scale, and to my disgust, I saw that I had gained 41 pounds. I couldn't believe it. I knew my weight had gotten out of hand, but I had no idea it had gone this far. I couldn't face the world. I went back to bed and spent the rest of the day crying my eyes out. If you've ever gained a lot of extra weight or felt like your body was simply out of control, I know how you feel. It can really make you feel both helpless and hopeless. Thankfully, I know there's a solution that works because I've done it. Plus, it's fast, easy, and it tastes delicious. Best of all, I lost every one of those stubborn 41 pounds for good. So you can understand why I was willing to fly to Africa and go deep into the jungle to find this mysterious recipe. Remember, I tried every possible weight loss program until I found this ancient red tea recipe that shrank fat cells. Before I share this recipe with you, I have to give you a warning. Today, I'm going to give you this recipe to use as often as you want, but to be completely honest, a lot of the information I'm sharing with you today exposes secrets that some people don't want you to know about. While I'll keep this site running as long as I can't promise any miracles. So if you're even a little bit curious about how this tea can change your body and shrink your fat cells, you need to watch the entire free video today. I know this sounds pretty far-fetched to you right now. However, the truth is that all I did was drink this delicious red tea and do a few other simple things to shrink my fat cells. The unique combination of special ingredients in this tea literally unlock your fat cells to help remove built-up toxins and reset your body's metabolism. The two things making it impossible for you to lose weight. Best of all, I've found the science that actually backs it up. The days of feeling guilty about not losing weight are finally over. Isn't that what you really want? You don't have to starve yourself or eat a bunch of flavorless vegetables to get results. Simply drink this delicious tea and enjoy the smart foods you love, and you will drop pounds guaranteed. Right now, you're probably wondering why no one has ever heard of this tea before. The answer is incredibly simple. In fact, the entire tribe thought I was crazy when I told them I wanted to lose weight. It's not a part of their culture to worry about losing weight, so they don't even realize that they're holding onto a secret that everyone in America is dying to get their hands on. So let me ask you this. Can you give me 14 days to cleanse away several pounds of lethal fat from your body? Imagine if you knew exactly how this ancient red tea could change your life in only a few weeks. Imagine the confidence you'll feel from walking into work wearing those jeans you haven't been able to zip up since your wedding. Imagine the joy of seeing your spouse look at you the way he or she did so many years ago. Imagine your excitement when just 14 short days from now, you step on your scale, look down, and see that you're much lighter. Think about the excitement you'll feel when you see the real-life proof that you can lose this much weight. And it was all so easy. All you did was drink this delicious red tea. Plus, you still got to enjoy delicious meals and even exercised a bit less, not more. You can cleanse away fat as much as you want, anytime you want. It's all up to you, and you don't have to stop there. Remember, it's not just about losing the fat either. This is about confidence. This is about freedom. By taking control of your body, you're taking back control of your life. No more insecurity, no more indecision. Best of all, no more feeling helpless. Few things are as empowering as feeling confident about the way you look. Honestly, even if you want to lose 20, 40, 60 pounds or more, I know this can work for you. It turns out this red tea can give you the wonderful, confident, and happy life you deserve. Drink this tasty tea and only 14 days from now, you'll have kick-started your natural fat-burning system into overdrive, turning your body into a calorie-burning machine. You'll look in the mirror, and for the first time in years, you'll see a big, unstoppable smile. You'll be thrilled, just like I was. You'll love the new, slender-looking you. It's the slimmer and sexier body you've always wanted to see. Up until now, I've only shared this revolutionary fat loss red tea recipe and my proven methods for cleansing fat away with my private clients, people who have paid me thousands of dollars. I've dedicated my life to searching the world to uncover little-known methods for helping people just like you safely and sensibly lose fat and keep it off. After falling into the worst shape of my life, I can personally say that this is by far the single best method for losing pounds quickly and easily. In fact, it was the only one that worked for me. It'll work for you too. Now, to speed your fat loss, and as a special thank you just for watching my informative fat loss video, I'm giving you 5 new fat shrinking rules. The rules will help you to detox your body and force your fat cells to open so you can release stubborn fat and shrink your fat cells. You can be cleansing away fat mere minutes from now. Throughout my career, my books have helped countless men and women across the world improve their health, jumpstart their metabolism, and lose weight when other programs fell short. I'm thrilled when I see messages flooding my inbox from women and men just like you, thanking me for giving them this red tea recipe and the methods that worked for them to cleanse away the fat when nothing else did. Now, you'll hear from just a few of my private clients who drank this delicious fat-cleansing red tea that forced their body to pump out more fat-burning hormones and make their fat cells shrink and stay shrunk. The new smaller body measurements from their fat cells shrinking were simply off the charts. Amazing! They found the one thing that let them hack into their own metabolism and jumpstart their natural fat loss systems. Additionally, the benefits go way beyond fat loss. It has worked for everyone who's followed my advice. I mean it, everyone! 14,793 people and counting. This includes Amanda, Dan, Melissa, and Emily, who took my advice and cleansed their fat away after they supercharged their own fat-burning systems. Amanda H., age 57, from Topeka, Kansas says, "I'm back in my skinny jeans. I lost 17 pounds and I'm fitting into jeans I never thought I would wear again. My husband tells me I look slender and sexy. I'm very pleased with my results." Dan R., 42, an entrepreneur from Troy, Michigan says, "I'm back in control and shed 42 pounds. My business is hectic and everyday life is stressful, so I often do not feel in control. This has made me feel I can control my hunger and what I eat. I feel much more in control of my life and I am very happy with my fat loss." Melissa T., 47, who lives in Topeka, Kansas, had this to say, "I flushed away 32 pounds. Now I have a curvy waist and hips right above my jeans. I feel fantastic. I'm so proud of what I did because my waist hasn't been this small since high school." Emily A., a 32-year-old computer programmer from Miami, Florida, says, "My belly shrank. I've lost 16 pounds and feel great. I never felt hungry while drinking this tasty tea. I lost 16 pounds without much effort. I lost all the weight I wanted, and I never felt deprived either." You've heard from just a handful of the thousands of people who proved this is the one thing that worked to lose all the weight they wanted. In just a few weeks from now, you can have similar results, just like Amanda, Dan, Melissa, and Emily did. Believe me, this tea is so powerful, you must watch all the way to the end so you can get the secret recipe. Then you'll see that detoxing my body with this tea helped me shed 41 pounds and gave me the sexy, slender body you see now. If I can go from this to this and lose 41 pounds of ugly fat without being hungry, you can too. I can help you. You can achieve the body you've always wanted, the body you deserve. I know you're probably skeptical, right? That's okay. But I can't stress this enough. You are not a failure. The fat loss science you thought would help you lose weight failed you. I should know. I remember how it was when nothing in my closet fit me, when I knew nothing would look good on me. I was so ashamed of my body that I even began undressing for bed in the dark so my husband couldn't see how fat I really was. I hoped and prayed every night that he wouldn't try to touch me. I couldn't bear the shame of him knowing what I'd become, even if it meant we grew apart because of it. As a result, we did. I hated it. Nothing I tried worked to lose the weight. So I suffered, for longer than I'd like to admit. All that is behind me now, and soon it will be for you too. All because I uncovered this ancient red tea recipe. And that's not hype. I'm not offering magic potions here. This red tea and the simple-to-follow detox plan that goes with it are rooted in sound scientific principles. I'd love to help you lose the fat if you'll let me, but first, let's take a look at 5 counterintuitive principles of weight loss that traditional methods just don't cover. New fat shrinking rule number 1. Eat more, weigh less. Losing weight is not about deprivation. It's all about detoxing your body and eating superfoods that burn up quickly, revving up your metabolism so you sizzle off calories all day and all night long. You will eat more and weigh less. With the help of this amazing red tea recipe, you will never feel hungry. The old rules of fat loss will be dumped in the trash can where they belong. And this leads us to our next rule. New fat shrinking rule number 2. Reduce stress, lose fat. This new rule is about reducing your chronically high stress levels, a critical part of losing weight. I'll give you a few simple methods to quickly reduce your stress and a list of the best methods to restore hormone balance at the end of this presentation. You will feel calmer and weigh less. It's true. Your stress is holding your body back. One study from the University of Florida found that chronic stress actually causes your body to start producing a protein called beta-trophin. When this special compound is in your body, it brings critical fat-burning enzymes to a complete standstill. That's just one critical reason why what you're about to discover is so revolutionary when it comes to safe and sustainable fat loss. By working with your fat cells instead of fighting against them. So now you know that stress is a huge reason for your excess fat. But here's another big one too. New fat shrinking rule number 3. Eliminate toxins, drop pounds. Did you know most processed food that is on the grocery store shelves contains harmful substances? The common food toxins found in processed foods include nitrates in processed luncheon meats, omega-6 fatty acids in oils from cottonseed, corn, soybean, safflower, and others, processed sugar and high fructose corn syrup, GMOs or genetically modified foods, residues from pharmaceuticals, manufacturing chemicals, and other toxins in meat, eggs, and dairy, pesticides and herbicides in conventionally grown produce and grain. When combined, all these toxic factors can result in low levels of fat-burning hormones and high levels of fat-storing hormones. And this dreaded combination can sabotage your fat loss and ruin your chances at having the slender body you want. That's why I was searching for a safe shortcut that would help my clients with an intense detoxification program to rid their fat cells of hormone-blocking toxins to unlock their natural ability to shrink fat cells. This is why you've had such a hard time losing weight, even though you do everything right. One research study conducted by the Uppsala University in Sweden concluded that there is a clear relationship between high levels of the environmental toxin PCB, a coolant and lubricant used in manufacturing, and the amount of body fat around the belly. Belly fat is known to increase your risk of diabetes and high blood pressure, among other dangerous conditions. That's why you should seriously consider detoxing your body. Research by Skidmore College exercise scientist Paul Arciero showed that detoxification can even reduce oxidative stress, which has been linked to causing diseases like Alzheimer's. One of the main problems with trying to lose weight, especially around your belly, is getting those stubborn fat cells to let go of the locked-in fat so the body can cleanse harmful toxins and flush fat away. The key to finally releasing this type of fat is new fat shrinking rule number 4. Rebalance hormones, release stored fat. Due to cutting-edge research, we now know that the hormone noradrenaline may hold the key to unlocking fat cells and shrinking them. It's what causes the action of the incredible shrinking fat cell. Researchers at Karolinska Institute in Sweden also found out adrenaline and noradrenaline are the hormones that stimulate the breakdown of fat and toxic molecules. However, when nutrients are plentiful, fat cells become resistant to this signal and instead store more fat, as reported by Professor Carlos Ibanez at the Department of Neuroscience. The takeaway here? The more noradrenaline produced in the body, the more pounds the body naturally sheds. This red tea recipe just so happens to boost noradrenaline production. Everyone I've helped with my red tea recipe lost a lot of weight because of it, with much of it lost in the hard-to-lose belly area. Noradrenaline was just one of the compounds I found in the red tea's 5 unique ingredients. I'll show you the clinical science of why this, along with the other 4 unique ingredients that work to shrink fat cells, but first I'll give you the 5th fat cell shrinking rule. New fat shrinking rule number 5. Exercise less, lose more weight. Scientists have made astonishing discoveries, and a recent breakthrough is something scientists call the exercise sweet spot. Your sweet spot is the exercise intensity level where the full fat-burning power of your body is unleashed, so your body draws on fat stores for fuel. You are not exercising harder. You are exercising smarter. Do this right, and fat layers under your skin vanish and excess pounds disappear. Sadly, most people are eating too little and exercising too much, and this actually works against fat loss. That's why I'm here to help you understand how drinking a tasty red tea, along with a few simple methods, will detox your body and easily balance all of your fat-storing and fat-burning hormones. You'll see how this red tea can literally force your fat cells to open and detox your body to quickly cleanse away all those extra pounds and inches. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? I don't even care how stubborn that belly fat has been. If you've always wanted to fit into clothing you've only dreamed about before, I'll show you how you can rebalance your fat loss hormones and unblock crucial metabolic fat-burning steps so you can control your fat-burning and fat-storing hormones and do it as easy as 1, 2, 3. I'll give you the secret red tea recipe so you can make it right in your own home with cheap ingredients from your own grocery store. Before I give you the red tea recipe, I'd like to share with you the harrowing details of my real-life African adventure and how searching for that no-hunger red tea from the ancient legend restored my health, revitalized the intimacy in my marriage, and on more than one occasion almost scared me to death. What was so incredible was that not only did I find this African shaman's no-hunger red tea recipe, this recipe has the most remarkable fat-cleansing action I've ever discovered in 15 years of traveling the world as a medical maverick. I've seen some truly mind-blowing fat loss results, but this red tea is by far the most impressive and the most incredible thing I've ever discovered. I also discovered that this no-hunger red tea's 5 unique ingredients are scientifically proven to trick stubborn fat cells to open and force them to release hard-to-lose fat, and to cleanse away years, if not decades, of unwanted fat. When I tried exercising to exhaustion to burn more belly fat, it had little effect on my fat loss. I went to my doctor to find out why I couldn't lose weight. After my exam and looking at my lab tests, he said, "Everything looks good. There's nothing wrong with you. I think you need to watch what you eat closer. Just stick to the medically prescribed diet I gave you. I also want you to exercise more often and longer. I'm sure if you follow the diet and exercise program correctly, you can lose the weight." My doctor just wasn't listening. I had already tried eating less. I was exercising more, and I was still getting fatter. It was absolutely infuriating. He didn't believe me. Like with everything else in the medical establishment, my doctor was taking the easy way out and putting the blame on me. I was so frustrated that after I left the doctor's office, I broke down and cried in my car. Why couldn't I lose this excess weight? I had no clue, and neither did my doctor. As if that wasn't enough, my marriage was on the verge of complete and total failure. My husband and I weren't anywhere close to being as intimate as we used to be, and I knew that deep down it was my own fault. I was pushing him away because I was ashamed of my body, because I felt like I was becoming a different person. What's worse was that he thought the same thing. I could tell by how he looked at me, or rather the way he didn't. Each time I weighed myself, the numbers were up. Even as I ate less and exercised more and more. As you might have already guessed, I had a few other nagging symptoms that made me feel sick, like waking up feeling tired even after sleeping 8 hours, frequent headaches, easily getting upset and feeling moody, difficulty concentrating, puffy swelling under the eyes, cold hands and feet, thinner eyelashes and eyebrows, and stronger sugar cravings. Maybe you've had some of these symptoms too. If you have, then it's incredibly important you continue to watch this free video. I just might have the answer to all of your problems. I knew something was seriously wrong with me, no matter what my doctor said. When I heard this bizarre rumor about this no-hunger red tea, I was feeling miserable. I was 41 pounds overweight, so you can understand why I was extremely excited to find out more. I knew that if I could curb my hunger with it, I could easily lose the weight. That's why I was so eager, even desperate, that I was willing to fly all the way to Africa to find out if this legend was true. Yes, my marriage was in serious trouble. Before we went to Africa, I had to buy new, bigger clothes because nothing fit me. Our lack of intimacy was going to destroy both of us, and the vows we swore to uphold till death do us part. During our trip to Africa, everything changed for the better. I'll give you the details on that in a minute. After we arrived at the remote African village where we would start our journey, the first couple of nights were horrible. I felt like the intense African heat was suffocating me. I was so incredibly hot that I couldn't breathe. Daytime temperatures were well over 100 degrees and there was very little shade. If I did manage to find some shade to sit in, thick swarms of biting black flies would viciously attack me. It gets worse, much worse. As we finally got closer to the remote tribe that guarded the red tea recipe, our guide showed us the trail we had to climb, which was the only way up. It was the steepest, most dangerous-looking path I'd ever seen. It couldn't have been less than 15 stories of winding, jagged rocks and mud, all traced by a single green vine as thick as my arm. To make matters even worse, I was itchy, I was exhausted, and I was struggling to stay standing at all. When I looked over at my husband, I saw a glimmer of hope. Hope that there might be something waiting for us up that hill. Hope that this just might end up saving our marriage. I couldn't turn away from it. Not this time. As we climbed and climbed the hills, my muscles burned and my body ached. I'd never worked this hard in my life. Finally, on the verge of collapsing from exhaustion, I just had to take a break. That's when the giant red snake decided to make me his dinner. He could tell that I was in no shape to run away. My husband tried to throw a rock at him, but that only made him angrier. It lunged at me. Everything went black. And the last thing I remember was its enormous fangs gleaming in the African sun. When I awoke, what seemed like a lifetime later, I was surrounded by faces I didn't recognize. I searched them all for answers, but they only responded in a language that sounded ancient and one that I didn't recognize. That's when I saw my husband and our guide push through the crowd, and a wave of relief washed over me. I looked at my husband, and he looked at me. We shared a moment that I'll never forget. That's when I knew I had to get better, for myself and for him. Then one of the villagers brought me a cup filled with the tea I had traveled so far to drink. After finally trying it, I knew that it was well worth the voyage. From the instant it began coursing through my body, I could feel it energizing my every cell, injecting new life into every limb. This red tea was unbelievably refreshing, and over the many days I drank it, I was never hungry. Other than water, it was the only beverage the villagers drank, which I was told was also why the women were all so slender. Even though I had to climb a massive hill to get to the village every day, I actually had more energy than ever before. I started sleeping better too, waking up more rested, refreshed, and actually excited to face the new day. My stress had practically vanished, and the anxiety that used to plague my days was gone completely. I was finally happy.